Okay, let's just jump right into this explainer. Today, we're taking a look at how ecosystem mapping is completely transforming the way we design our industries. We already know the old linear economy is a dead end, right? But by mapping our systems to mimic natural ecosystems, we can actually redesign our world into this beautiful closed loop cycle where nothing is ever truly lost. And look, this isn't just about being sustainable, it's about building serious industrial resilience and ensuring that materials keep their value across multiple life cycles instead of just, ending up rotting in a landfill somewhere. So think about this for a second. What if your company's biggest liability was actually its greatest asset? In a natural ecosystem, the concept of waste just doesn't exist. Like literally, the output of one organism is simply food for another organism. So today, we're acting as waste detectives. We're going to uncover that hidden value by learning how to view our industrial liabilities as highly lucrative, sustainable assets. Because the second companies stop paying to dispose of materials and start selling them as resources, the entire economic equation changes.
All right, Section 1, Mapping the Invisible Links.
We're going to start with a tool called Holistic Diagnosis 1, or just HD1 for short. The easiest way to think about HD1 is like a set of superpowered X-ray specs for systemic design. It lets us look deep inside any given facility and map out the precise flow of energy and physical matter. We get to see exactly what goes in and exactly what comes out. And by doing this, we can instantly spot the hidden inefficiencies and all those lost resources that standard financial accounting just completely misses. Now, drawing this treasure map basically breaks down into three super straightforward steps. First, you map the inputs. That's all your raw materials, your water, your energy entering the process. Second, you map the subprocesses, which are the actual on-the-ground production stages taking place inside the facility. And finally, you map the outputs, but not just the final shiny product. We're talking all the surplus materials, the wastewater, the emissions, the whole shebang. Capturing this complete picture is absolutely crucial to making the transition to true circularity. Moving right along to Section 2, Finding Wealth in Waste. The contrast we see here is literally night and day. In the old school, traditional linear view, an output is just a dead end. It's a pesky disposal cost that drags down your profitability. But shift over to the circular ecosystem view, and that exact same waste is instantly redefined. It becomes a valuable new input for another local actor. It's a massive shift in perspective, right? We're taking disposal fees and flipping them into entirely new revenue streams.
Let's look at a generic, real-world example to put this into perspective, a hazelnut processing plant. When we chart the outputs of this plant using our HD1 X-ray, we realize those leftover hazelnut shells aren't garbage at all. They're actually perfect biomass fuel that can be cascaded to heat local agricultural facilities nearby. Meanwhile, the surplus wastewater, give it a little eco-treatment, and suddenly it's the ideal input for neighboring industries that need water for processing. We are literally designing out waste by connecting the local ecosystem. It's a microeconomy built entirely on industrial symbiosis.
Section 3, the textile value chain. Now, this whole circular ecosystem concept isn't just for massive industrial parks. It's actually relevant to something you interact with every single day, your clothes. As researchers Fontel and Hakela perfectly point out, users are the key enablers of closed-loop business models. That means you, the everyday consumer, hold the ultimate power here. You activate these loops. All the brilliant industrial design in the world means absolutely nothing if the end user doesn't actively participate in keeping those materials in circulation. Check out this timeline. It shows exactly how your day-to-day chronological actions hold on to a garment's value. For the first year or two, the loop is closed simply by you doing basic repair and maintenance, patching a hole, fixing a button. Years 3 to 5, maybe you share it or sell it secondhand. Fast forward to years 6 to 8, and it's reused as material, like upcycling it into something totally new. It's only after a decade or more that it finally actually needs to go to chemical or mechanical recycling. By delaying that recycling phase for as long as possible, we drastically cut down on energy consumption and preserve the embedded value of the original product. It's kind of wild to think about it, isn't it? It's incredibly empowering to realize your wardrobe isn't just a dark space where you store your stuff. When you map it out, your closet is a vital, active, interconnected node in a zero-waste ecosystem. Every single time you mend a sweater, donate a jacket, or upcycle an old t-shirt, you are actively keeping materials flowing sustainably. You are the one preventing the premature destruction of valuable resources. All right, Section 4, Defining Circular Ecosystems. So, zooming all the way out for a second, let's look at the formal definition from researcher Erica Stenrose. A circular economy ecosystem is a multi-actor entity. It unites companies, cities, universities, and citizens, us, under one shared system-level mission: absolute resource circularity and zero waste. It's a formal recognition that we are all entirely interdependent. If we just try to do isolated, one-off sustainability projects, we're always going to fall short of true systemic change. We have to work together.
And to keep that ecosystem alive, you've got these three distinct flows that act as the network's lifeblood. First, you have material flows, like those hazelnut shells and those textiles moving around. Then, you have knowledge flows, where different parts of the ecosystem share ideas to unlock new efficiencies. And finally, economic value flows, because let's be real, you need to keep the business ecosystem profitable and thriving. All three of these have to circulate. If one stops flowing, the entire ecosystem stalls out.
Which brings us to Section 5, fusing domains for zero waste. To actually make this zero waste interconnected future a reality, we have to break out of our traditional silos. It's going to take an epic cross-disciplinary team-up. We need the technicians and engineers designing these circular processes. We need the economists writing entirely new value models. We need the humanists digging into how consumer behavior actually shapes these loops. We need policymakers writing the regulations to support it, and we need citizen consumers, all of us, driving the market demand. We literally have to fuse the domains of science, money, and human behavior. Because honestly, a purely technical solution just won't survive without an economic model and widespread adoption to back it up. By mapping the system, we make the invisible completely visible. It proves that creating a zero-waste world is not just some isolated job for a single sustainability department. It is a highly collaborative, systemic treasure hunt where absolutely everyone has a critical role in closing the loop. And once you see these connections, you really can never unsee them.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a question to chew on. Look at your own life. Your skills, your professional domain, your daily choices. What unique action will you bring to our shared circular future?